It feels like we're playing a lot looser, a lot more confidently, and we just want to win. This year is our year.
Yep.
尽力去争夺冠军吧。
Ini dia final stage
我
game.
们要成为第一者吧，让别人来追我们。
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PGS8 final stage, the first day of play here. I am Porosaurus. Joining me once again is Paperthin, and we had a heck of a group stage, Paperthin, and now it's blank slates all around as everybody is going to try to make the best first impression they can here on day one.
No doubt about it. It is a really important day, obviously. Every day through these next 3 days is going to be very important. But, you know, with that group stage coming down to that last game, having so many teams tied or very near that cutoff threshold, you know, now's your chance, like you're saying, to redo. You've got an open book in front of you. You can write your own story now. Whatever happened there is in the
Wherever
past.
you go, that's where I'm follow.
Our PGS7 champion, 17 Gaming, are back. They are going to be kind of on the radar of everybody, but can they go back to back? Can they do what only Twisted Minds has done?
I mean, Twisted Minds was really good at it, right? And then, of course, we saw Twisted Minds come on top of the group stage this time, which we've seen them do 3 times last year. We also saw them get 3 grand finals wins last year as well, so maybe we'll see them resurge here just a little bit. It feels like Europe has kind of finally found their footing here in Shanghai.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, for Twisted, a big part of it, right? It's just
Siapa yang akan menang kira-kira, guys?
play your game. I mean, you can see that they're back to playing their normal
Kemungkinan besar sih dari performa group stage bisa Twisted main lagi yang juara. Falcon juga bagus, tapi nggak tahu kenapa ya di akhir-akhirnya malah aneh. Menurut gue malah di awalnya biasa aja, di akhirnya baru menggebu-gebu kayak telat panas sih kalau kata gue ya di grup stage kemarin. Sambil makan, sambil ngopi. Day trade apalagi day trade dari PGS 7 gitu, terus group stage sama di awal-awal, wah menyala banget, jagonya luar biasa. Setelahnya kayak di akhir-akhirnya melempem parah anjir, kacau banget. Let's go game 1. Kalau gue sih, kalau nggak Twisted Mind, gue satu lagi nggak mau Falcon ya. Mungkin day trade deh. Sebagai saya, kita harus mendukung. Mengerikan day trade ini. Poinnya. Tapi begitu setelah akhir-akhirnya menurun aja. Oh, dia tetap situ dia. Pasti di Partona kalau nggak Prison. BB Team sama Teraton deket. Lagi T1 Forest duluan. Fish Power Grid kah? Wah, Rosita tuh udah ditembakin tuh. Wah, Seventeen sama Navi deket. Oh, sama DNF juga lebih dekat sama DNF dia. Oh, GK jauh, 4AM di situ. Tiwa sama Forest aman sih. Kita lihat zona di mana. Zona di bawah sih kalau kata gue. Gila, enak banget. GK bisa langsung enak itu. PP juga langsung dapat. Yumin. Ya elah. State.
So this was when I was looking at the drop spot maps. This was one of the other ones I was kind of eyeing because the Navi and Freaks drop territories were really close to each other around Kantara, and that's a bit painful there for Navi. and their hopes to have a strong start. Meanwhile, the Freaks have constantly come into whatever stage it is, groups, finals, wherever they get. Their first day has almost always been pretty abysmal, at least by their standards.
Sure.
And so for them to come out hot here, if they have a good game one, if they have a good day one, maybe this is the difference maker for them to finally jump over that hurdle and win a PGS title, something that they were oh so close to doing in PGS 7.
So close, down to the last fight even. But
Navi bukan sama
PGS
17
7, they started off day one of groups with 2 wins. So Freaks have a little bit of a history of starting strong, a very recent history of starting strong. We'll see if they can replicate that. Meanwhile, Navi will have to play this one without Stade, who was a newcomer to the roster, but has been proving himself to fit right in with these guys. They have been, as soon as, you know, the hot drop nonsense for PGS 7 was set to the side, they really, really seem to find their groove in these group stages.
Yeah, they have tremendous fraggers on that team. They are really good in a lot of different scenarios in terms of their team fighting. It's just, you know, can they find some level of consistency with kind of a roster shuffle? Player in the air, took a ton
Ya
of
elah,
damage.
bete banget sih Stade,
This is
sumpah.
Iron Sight AK
Oh, he
for
actually
Gumin.
popped them.
Last
Gumin.
Oh,
Last
ketembak, anjir.
Unreal.
Man,
Okay,
I
look.
thought Stade was gonna. I mean, he had a line onto the shack there too. It looked like he might have been able to get away with it, but the Iron Sights AK Gumin, that boy.
My king. My king. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Well, again, we'll have to see. Yeah, like you said, the Freaks can start good, but I always had worries about them in the group stages because I was just like, what are you guys doing on day one? Like,
That's
can
fair.
we play a little bit?
To be fair, I think we've said that about quite a few times.
That's fair.
at this
That's also
point.
true. Yeah, but if
You're
you're
like,
gonna be
what's
like a
going on?
championship
Chill day
contender,
satu.
right?
Right.
Like, you know, I think you got to be a little bit more consistent overall. And again, the desk was talking about it when they were, you know, mentioning the Freaks, that obviously it isn't what you would hope it would be for them because of what they were able to accomplish in the PWS. And yeah, a super team of sorts from Korea. Hopefully they're going to be able to get it together. Twisted Mind's a known quantity, a super team indeed. No doubts about that, what they're capable of.
Yeah, and definitely started to feel like they found their footing in those group stages to the tune of coming in first place overall. And
Mana dari
this
thread nih?
is what we were seeing last year. It was just twisted dominance through group stages, through grand final. It was just all Twisted Minds. And
Waduh.
it looks like that story maybe we might
Si aman
see
sih ini.
a remix a little bit here as we check in on BB Team, another European team that has just been amping things up as these tournaments have progressed.
Kelihatan kan sama
This
dari
is a
thread.
team that definitely deserves a ton of accolades because of their consistency. Their ability to pop off day to day is tremendous. They have one of the best macro games
Wah,
you're going to find out
langsung
there.
masuk
They're
dia.
extremely stable. They have a great circle to start here in game one.
Los
They're gonna
Leones
be
nih,
right around that resort area, just
Oh.
to the east of it early.
kayaknya zona akhirnya kesini dah. Tapi kalau kesini sih, malesin banget sumpah.
So we'll just have to wait and see, or maybe we'll get one that's a little
Ini
more
gede
north
banget,
this
anjir,
time.
bangunannya
Maybe
banyak.
Puerto Paraiso, would be very nice. But BB has just great players with a ton of experience, players with a lot of confidence. You know, Maladoct was playing out of his mind during the group stages here. Yeah. He was close to top fragging if he didn't end up top fragging, but he was having a tremendous group stage here at PGS 8.
Jauh.
So for going forward, I expect them to be right in the hunt.
I think the Europeans have known about Maladoc for a while, but now he is introducing himself here on this international stage in a big way. I think a lot of teams could go ahead and examine that BB Team early game and early and mid game to kind of figure out
Tukeran mobil.
they're finding so much
Oh,
success.
ngambil
Man,
itu
it feels
ngambil
like
zona
they're
lagi apa?
so good at
Bell
keeping the
attachment.
form alive into the late game. And once they get there, that's when things start going.
Morae mulai masuk.
That, has not always had the
Forest
best of
mana ini?
getting all four to the late game.
Baru mau masuk Forest.
Yeah, I mean,
They're here. They
they're
made
here.
the grand final.
Look,
They made the final stage. They are here.
That's impressive in and of itself, to be honest. This team has a lot of macro issues.
GOPAY mah aman dia. Atas itu sih.
But they cleaned a lot of that up here for this
Aduh, Park
PGS8.
Pro.
Like, they were a little more consistent. They got here on a tie based on their placement points, so they were able to get deeper into games. So that was a difference maker for them. So, you know, if they cannot lose players early, we've seen them be able to come up big in late game scenarios, even coming up with some wins.
Tuh, Park Pro masih naruh sih.
4 a.m., a team to keep
Mati
your
sih
eyes on.
itu.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and think that they're going to win this thing. If I'm just being
Oh, udah
really
ngeliat,
honest,
udah ngeliat.
Be asking you much.
yeah, but top 10, that would be a nice result for them.
I think top 10 is doable. As you said, they won that tiebreaker in the group stages among, what was it, 3 or 4 teams that had 60 points. And they won it on placement points, and it wasn't even close.
NF merapat.
Way more. So getting to the late game has been something that 4AM has been able to do, as we see Aton Mu and Godvi spotting out freaks on.
Loh, telat kah? Padahal 4AM kayak duluan deh. Dia mau ambil gudang.
Front runner, the tip of the spear of their rotation. Now they've got Forest just behind them, hanging around in Impala, so a little bit pinched right now, but still a lot of space that they can work around. We'll see if they decide to play on this eastern edge or if they.
Group stage-nya dari satunya kill 2, dari 3 10 langsung boleh.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It could be.
Kejar storan anjay.
Gonna see what HS wants to do. The old new happy player. Looking pretty decent. It has a bit of a glow up here, as you saw there on the bottom of your screen. Falcons.
Miraba sebenarnya masih aman sih kalau misal apa namanya? Kalau misal nggak dapat kompon, nggak dapat rumah gitu, sebenarnya masih aman-aman aja sih. Karena banyak gundukannya, cuman ya itu dia. Kayak gundukannya cuman misal cuman sisi depan, kiri kanan, belakangnya enggak. Belakangnya lost banget. Kayak oke-okean aja kalau beruntung dapat gundukan yang enak, terus nggak ada dari yang open, musuh sih aman ya. Masih lama Miramar mah ini. Miramar udah hampir 80%, bahkan 90% pasti sampai zona akhir anjir. Sampai 9.
Thorn in the side of so many teams in this lobby with their positioning. They always seem to get in the right place at the right time, and then they strike at the right moment. Meanwhile,
bisa sendiri doang.
2-1-1 split in the middle of this zone. You see Ibi on this southern edge, Nixie just way off of that southeastern part of Los Leones in the compounds, and then
aman-aman aja sini di atas sini mah.
Beamy in the warehouse in the middle. So a lot of information being gathered up by these guys.
Legend.
Let's just hope that they don't get found out.
Ketahuan, Falcon. Oh, di bukit sebelahnya ketutupan si T1-nya. Loh. Besono kah? Iya. Udah ada.
So the rotation paths maybe not going to be as clean as normal, but
takut training. Ya elah T1 sih bete. Kan benar zonanya Los Leones. Wis enak. Pipi. Wah, ini daerahnya Navi nih. 2 tim. Aduh, Falcon ketemunya sama Twist. Muter ke sana dia.
But south already full.
SM?
You can see T5, 17, Virtus Pro, BB,
wah, selamat.
and Taikule all in decent positions. But the biggest problem here on the east, all these teams that are right next to each other, and this is going to be the first shots being sent as 4AM.
Duh, dibalikin dong lu. Kalau nggak kabur. Kah?
If one or the other gets the idea that they are fighting each other, they might bear down a little bit harder, but
I think they might
because of the Yasnaya drop situation.
Exactly.
Dekat banget sama Soset. Manavi dekat banget Iwan.
But you know, no knocks found, no real damage done. 4AM on the move. T1 gonna have to settle in with just a couple of warehouses to set up a little bit of early.
Setidaknya kalau ketahuan Soset dapat 1 sih dari T1 ya kalau ketahuan. Kalau nggak dapet 1 juga, benar-benar ruginya terlaluan. Nixie mengerikan.
Headshot, get the knock. Can they get the res? It looks like they should be able to fairly easily. A nice little vehicle fort. May lose a couple of tires for it. Hopefully,
berdua gitu dia.
will bloom in time to save that. But
look,
just on the other side of the hill is 17, and they heard.
Wah, seperti enak banget sih. Kalau tadi nggak tahu ya.
Swap
Oh,
over the
Farayamnya
low
belum
and I think it's just August and 7-7
buka
that are over here. Yes, Xiaobei is showing not going to be
tembakan.
in a position
Tapi dengar suara
to
mobil.
contribute
Wah,
to
nunggu
this.
sini. Wah,
17 has to make a decision about how aggressive they really want to
langsung
be
aja
here as just a
terparty.
duo. And it looks like they have their answer.
Well, they got a grenade out already. They were waiting for a little bit more
Ya,
attention to be
ente
paid this
banget sih.
direction. The
Farayam
grenades
sumpah
are
ente
pretty
enggak.
good, but it is going to be actually T5 from afar. That's going to back 17 off. They can't commit any further to that fight. And that's a very, very nice situation for 4AM because 17 might have
Kabur nggak sih?
Sure is. Yeah, I think BB team and GK taking shots over in that direction, but that will keep 4AM alive right for the time being. A couple of good grenades would have just been the death of them, you have to imagine, with all those vehicles being there. But 4AM still trying to figure out if they want to stay here, if they want to get back on the move. But yeah, that's what happens. The second you try to go and peek, Fluky will find the angle. He's going to get the knock on
Boleh Fluky ya.
7-7 rather, and they should be able to get him back on his feet.
Yep, that should be okay, but you got to be extra careful at 17. You have Xiaowu and Xiaobei split pretty far from these two players, so
he's got 3 grenades though, and that's looking so meaty, man.
It's so juicy. It is. You want it, but I mean, you're gonna take a big risk.
I know.
Going for it. It's just a matter of if they do, and here we go.
Wah, udah ketahuan.
I was wondering about Navi there. Gonna get
Dapetin satu. Wah, timingnya pas banget. Wah, bener-bener Navi sih udah bete sih dah.
Really well done there by Type to make sure he got the knock before the flush could come out, so T1 will be able to get Raining back on his feet. As we see, the circle's going to cut up north.
Leones males banget zona Mas Leones sih.
We've got Twisted Minds had sent it in early. Now Forest Falcons, Virtus Pro 17
Navi jauh banget loh.
4 AM right behind
Ini
them.
bisa.
And they are running into Virtus
Kabur
Pro.
lagi bisa aja.
Virtus Pro in a little bit of a split here. Spray come down onto Ibby, but Godv not going to land it.
Yeah, this is nice for VP. That early split allowed them
Kalau
to
nggak
get
kabur
a lot
memang
deeper into the
berbahaya
center
sih.
of Los Leones. So assuming that this does go that way, they're going to have some phenomenal positioning, but they're taking a bunch of damage trying to get
Nixie
through.
sakit
Godv
banget.
19 HP, has to back off. Nixie doing a great job there, but the grenades are good from long.
VP.
Finds Beamy.
GK-nya bisa mengikut nih.
Able to find the flush as well. Not quite enough with just that one, but a couple more being lined up.
Just Nixie can't get knocked here. He's got to wait. He's got to wait for the deluge of utility to start slowing down a little bit before he can even think about going for it. And Beamy very, very close to knocked here. Might be rescuable still.
Gila.
But Nixie,
Habis. Ya ampun. Navi.
Just one. Akatori all by himself, and he's been spotted out by Type.
Mati sih.
Will get Type low.
Shot it out of the air.
Did shoot it out of the air. It was right on top of him, but he's dancing. He's gonna go down, and Navi
sih.
out in 16th place.
Oh, nice attempt.
Kejauhan kalau kata gue sih. Kalau kata gue ya. Mereka splitnya jauh banget loh.
And especially after you get that first kill, you know they already lost a player early to the Freaks. You know they're down to just 2. You can just find those last 2, take a 4v2 fight.
Aduh, 2 lagi jauh lagi.
It only took everything as they finally find Nixie. He put himself in a perfect position, and he is not likely to get revived as the other 2 boys are inside the city of Los Leones as it stands right now. So Nixie will most likely be watching the rest of this one from his perspective as we see pick up in the air.
2 di mana?
I don't know if Daytrade took
it down.
Daytrade's falling right on top.
Tanado kenapa gitu ya?
Spiro will spot out Thanadol as Heather will sprint up to the top of the rocks. He's got EN with him. They can maybe catch Daytrade slipping here.
Well, Tigger there and Flash taking a whole bunch of damage. Tigger trying to hold the line but had to duck down. And he's trying to keep himself a little bit hidden from T1, at least for now. Has an ace, some grenades. Once he gets
Mati dong sama N. Tawan dong sama N.
Oh my god, mortars.
Okay, it's already on the already dead body of Thanadol, so that's safe. Oh, Tigger got end real low there. That ace doing nice, but nice grenade from Ian. Fine Tigger. And now Belmoth and Flash have that high ground. They've got a little bit of a smoke wall they can work with, and they can at least try to rain some util down on the T1 as the circle will cut onto the city proper.
Itu sudah enak. Oh, TKL juga dah. Duh, TKL udah dapat. Lanjut Falcon bisa langsung masuk situ tanpa perang.
He's getting shot in the back by Begopa now. Has to go prone. EN trying to get over towards Heather to get the res. Raining still on the backside near Type. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Begopa just sends it in. dying to 4 a.m. Couple members gone,
Parah
just
sih.
down to 2 for them, and I mean this is gonna be
Unlucky
tough.
banget
They
itu.
get into the city early. There's gonna be some
Jalur
gatekeepers around
ininya
the
apa
edges.
namanya?
Boy, oh boy, and HSM has that vehicle destroyer, the M249.
Tiga
They
masih selamat
make
dong.
work on GOPAY, as it looks like they at least managed to get 2 into the city for now.
Jalur rotasinya jelek
Keep
banget
them
anjir.
alive as T1 back up to full strength, still
DNF ketemu Forest
their
gitu.
way through as Belma somehow managed to get
Lihat
down
di sini ya.
Tigger. Flash now trying to keep sure that
Bener.
keep track
Jangan
of the
ketemu
rest of the
Forest
team,
gak
make sure that
kena tuh
Rez can
Heaven
keep
sama
it.
salutnya.
It does, but it looks like Ian might have spotted it out.
Well, now you've got to get a bit of a counter angle here with Type to set up this fight. Heather,
Yo, barennya kan
it's not very close. A lot of chip damage coming through onto Day Trade though, and now you're looking for the Molly Tigger. It's actually going to be from a different angle. The Freaks get wiped out off screen somewhere by Forest.
Sama
The
juga.
human highlight reel, as Tiggleton called him the other day. He's going to do them dirty. Meanwhile, Flash Belmoth under pressure. T1 suffering knocks. Heather took a little bit of damage there in that knock status, but it seems like he's reasonable.
Seems like he might be. Yeah, Forest just absolutely cracked right now as they were in a big wide split, and they just happened to catch Freaks making their way into that northeastern side of Los Leones and did them dirty. As Flash waiting for somebody to show up, and yep, Ian's going to spot out those feetsies first, and now Flash gets to find out why Ian gets to find out why Flash was lying so prone. Yeah,
it ain't great, but as T1, you need to clear this mountainside as best as you can to see if you can identify a way into the city proper. The good news for them is if they can deal with Belmoth relatively cleanly, they've actually got some good opportunity on that eastern side. Yeah, GK BB team, 2 of our EU teams. GK able to make it into the finals this go around. See what they can do, but they also
Mau lihat mana dia coba. Mau lihat mana udah siap aja tuh. Prime tuh lihat tuh. Langsung banting kiri bisa sih.
Maybe, well, we get a chance to see what HS did to GOPAY.
Ya ampun, ini sih udah jelas aja begitu tuh ya. Ya elah.
But yeah, that thing is just ripping through the vehicle, and now GK, they know exactly what's
jelas aja itu mah anjir. Enak banget.
Still inside the zone, but now T1 is coming in this direction. They weren't expecting anything. And now GK down to just 1 is Type as the last player alive for T1. Will spot out Spiro, gets him flipping. No, he's gonna go down.
Sampah sama GK.
Will try to reset here, but
sampah sama GK lagi.
the dinner bell, and here they come.
BB team?
T1 just opened the door. Food's on. Let's see what BB team can do. Rez is attempting to be stuck here by GK.
Dilempar enak banget itu. Aduh, bawahnya nggak ngecek itu. Nggak ngecek yang bawah kah? Ya, udah ketahuan dong kok kayak gini mah. Molodok, let's go. Kelas Molodok.
Powerful Molodok. Quizzy trying to hold an angle, but can't do much to save his teammate.
Easy for Molodok. That was a dirty spray with the AK.
Dozy.
Spot out Spiro. What a spray. As BB team is coming in. They know exactly where Quizzy is. Or do they? They had no clue. Quizzy gonna find 2 of them. The sneaky lad from GK will take down 2 from BB team, but do they have
sembarangan banget sih, astagfirullahaladzim Molodok.
Maybe throw them in the vehicle, send it through 4 a.m. and hope for the best.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they do.
I don't think they can. Yeah, that's taking too hard, man.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
Sembarangan banget itu.
I mean, even if you do, you're just going to drive right through 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, it's just going to be a bleed out there. So BB team now.
Rufus mati dong.
Some meds and figure out a way.
Oh no, I think they tried to go for the res to deny the point, but Phil first mistiming it, and now all of BB team just in a little bit of a shambolic state. As 4 a.m. was just waiting for them to come out. Yeah, they're just dropping first aid, so this might just be heal as long as you can. 4 a.m. will leave their compound after doing so much destruction and gatekeeping on that south side. And
masih selamat.
they find a nice little path here on the eastern side. They will get a little
bit
Falcon,
Twisted Mind. Ya, Virtus Pro masih 2 orang sih agak gimana ya. Kalau digas 1 squad sih harusnya. Itu sebelah-sebelahan loh. Gak bener-bener satu tempat. ROC
some kind of safety.
Roche boleh juga ya.
God compound.
Wah enak ya Roche tempatnya tuh. Kan? Bener kan? Biel.
Beautiful stuff there from Biel. As Rock continuing to find a little bit of success here. They were one of the early arrivers to the city. And as a result, they have a nice little spot here on the southern side to play around. Dead center circle is Falcons. And we still have 34 alive, 11 teams
Let's go
left.
Belmont.
Everybody trying to make their way into the city. Belmoth, he sees it just off in the distance. Can he get there? And can he get there without being spotted out by 4 a.m.?
He's done great to be patient with this to try to find the timing. He's going to go for the grenade. And he's going to bleed out or just get shot down. The grenade is going to find one on the long.
Tetep dapat sih, cuman kenok doang.
By Belmont, but not much going on. Oh my God, those cars.
Hampir.
I mean, they're inside, but still.
They're so lucky Atamu picked him up. If he would have just been lazy and just tried to go for the res right there, they might have actually been in a little bit of trouble. But
I was just about to say, this compound I was noticing on the map was open. The tallest point in Los Leones.
Banget TKL dari tadi juga diem-diem aja. Falcon, TKL,
Twisted Minds already have
ROC.
making his way down as we get to see what exactly
Bener-bener
happened.
jarang.
This is what we were talking about, the forest split. Baron had him right close, and then you had Kiss off in the distance. Baron spots out one. Kiss will deal with the rest. Beautiful stuff from Forest.
Just what a setup there. I mean, it's tough to get into the city.
Lompat tertinggi dan nikmatnya ya. Iya ampun.
Falcons waiting with open arms.
This street is
Disampahin tapi anjir.
This is the thing. TKL didn't actually have to do that yet. Like the spot that Cold is in is still inside zone, so I don't know. Maybe getting a little bit antsy there. As Luka Rux has that Panzerfaust in handsy. Here's the feetsies of 4 a.m. Tip tap.
Aduh, sebelahan banget itu Luka Rux.
Waiting, wishing one would peek him right now. As Godv playing the wall on the outside. On the other side of the wall.
What if he just gets all four?
Oh man.
Dengeran dong. Maju bersama, hati. Maju bersama, mati.
Are they going to charge in?
Maju bareng dong, sini dong.
And is Luka Rux going to spot him? Ibby on the other side, waiting for it. The
Nice.
Panzer comes through. Will spot out HS. Gets the first knock. Gets two.
Satu
And
lagi.
now he goes down. Ibby going to charge in. Clean up the rest. What teamwork from Virtus Pro.
Mengerikan Virtus Pro. Iya lo, itu dia lo. Cakep sih, jago. Ini baru Virtus Pro. Aduh. PG7 sih agak kurang jujur ya PG7. Iya ampun mati juga akhirnya. Kok bisa? Lihat, oh nggak zona dia coba keluar kah? Ente, tapi udah lumayan deh. Istilahnya mah dapat 4 plus 1.
Still a lot of we got 4 4-man squads still in this.
This is gonna be a great ending. Ranger X trying to use the cover of smokes to
Gak
get
bisa terselamatkan sih itu mah.
like he has done so, but they're carrying
Bisa digendong dong.
over a 2-2 split 4T5.
Harus kita.
Just on the edge of the circle though, so should be safe to make this res. I would assume. I don't think Rock is gonna go pushing out to try to find this.
Ain't no way.
No, not gonna be the best idea ever. But yeah, okay. So this is stage 1 here. Now can you find a few more pieces of util to make your next attempt to grab a shotgun as well? It's going to center right on top of the Falcons.
Both roads still in play too. Nothing cut out just yet.
Tapi
Falcons
kecuali satu deh si Lunya. Lunya aduh sampel.
Tiggleton finds a knock on example. You think they could get that revive? We'll see.
Depends on Forest.
They did lose Lou.
Oh,
however,
7-7.
as Lou has been taken down by Forest. As goodness, Forest, man. 5 kills already. They're down to 2, and they are so dangerous.
Aduh, ketahuan.
Just enough. Yeah, they can't go for this res because of that.
Ngeri juga emang sih begitu.
7-7 kind of holds that down. The problem is 17 has other
Shawut.
problems. Res attempting
Ranger
to
X, let's go.
now trying to break out.
Nice, dapat 1. Ya ampun tapi satu ompongnya kena.
From Rock Patulans on Overwatch for his squad. I think that's a blue zone there from Rock. Indeed it is. Trying to see if they can get the flush onto Potampong, but it is
Masih aman.
just a little bit short. Ranger X now thinking about making his cross, but you're either going to need a spray of your life onto BL or throw some smokes there, my guy, because he has got that covered. And there goes the smoke, very well thought out. And now T5 gonna try to make a wrap, but it's really hard here for T5. It comes down to some really good smokes, some really good timings. The grenade at his feet has him jumping, but he's a-okay.
500 damage for BL so far in this game.
Falcon kah ini, Falcon lah. Oh, 1 HP.
He just barely gets out of there. But that's going to open up the door for T5 to make that push across the road.
Hampir aja Real Ghost dapat 4. Dapat gak? Iya. Real Ghost NT-nya dia.
How many smokes you got left? They still have a few, but you have to want to save some for the late game. But Lil Ghost goes down to Twisted Minds, and Theraton 5 gets a reprieve. But 7-7 finds the dirtiest of angles and will spot out Rossided and Fluky.
You love having a barrel in
Another
that
one.
spot. He's got more. He looks for the
Can he get
final.
them all?
He's got him. 7-7.
Mengerikan.
Takes him
Gelo,
down with the barrel. Unbelievable. He immediately pays the price to example, but oh my word. What a moment for him.
Enak banget itu mah. Posisinya emang udah enak sih. Trackingnya masuk lagi, enak banget. Tep. Satu peluru lagi kenok sih tuh.
And they will get spotted out by Twisted Minds, but they should get cover for now.
Falcon sih kalau kata gue nih.
Only team still south of the road other than Falcons in their 2-2 split.
Tapi bisa ya kalau turun pun di atas Falcon. Nanti pas parasut ditembakin sih. Sama aja bohong ya. Langsung mati-mati juga Falcon sih tapi. Ya kalau zona-zona akhir gini di tempat paling tinggi justru agak kurang high ground itu agak kurang enak sih. Ini mau turun susah, mau gak mau lompat parasut tapi kena tembak gimana.
The better angles, the better opportunities, the better cover towards where the final circle will end. Just a matter of whether they can lock it down now. Batuins is going to be the one to take down Cold, so that opens up the backside for Falcons.
4-4-3-2.
Also have the edge in terms of helmets and armor and utility and all this stuff. Like they've been playing kind of center circle.
Polaris pas banget lagi di belakangnya.
Had to get involved in any of these edge fights. While Twisted Minds has had that high ground.
Aduh.
They have not. I mean, they've been getting kills. I've got 5 of them already, but haven't really been able to refill any of their loot as far as util and any of that stuff goes, as they've been playing this high side for so long. Is Rock RBN spots out Perfectix, has him kind of pinned down, and they have
ketemunya sama Falcon ini mah.
Part of this circle. These two right here are the ones I'm worried about.
Absolutely. These players can cause problems.
Yeah. Enak banget itu 21 sama 19.
Yeah, they
Gila.
are absolutely cracked individually. Seeing a lot
Smoke-nya.
of players start to switch over.
Granatnya 10. Falcon sih udah siap tempur ini.
Picked up in the back. Here comes Rock. They are going to make their breach into this building. Falcons are not in this.
Udah enak ini.
Here come the shotties, yep.
Roche enak sih ini udah.
You gotta have these out. You gotta have the sawed off. A little bit of damage done by
Turun mau gak mau dong, twist dong.
But again, you gotta keep the angle covered. Here comes Perfectix.
Go for that high side. He's gonna get spotted.
Itulah tapi masalahnya.
We'll take the spray, but won't get the knock. Scappy will though.
Itu permasalahannya.
Gets taken down by those Forest players. Shrimsy will steal it away though, and Kickstart will take down Scappy. So now Kiss all by himself. Falcons doing a really good job.
Itulah masalahnya kalau turun. Bener aja kan. Gila, boleh.
His go around with that angle clear of Scappy. He's going to at least be able to make a safe landing initially. Gonna throw a smoke on top of himself, but Shrimsy ahead of the curve has example dealt with. Twisted Minds down in 4th.
Man was just waiting for it. Perfect timing there from
Falcon kan ini udah pasti. Kalau masih kalah sih.
So you got to be careful on the part of Falcons to know that you have that snake in your midst, but the problem right now is Rock 4 strong. Still have 15 smokes, 17 smokes for Falcons.
Gila.
If you like smokes, late game Los Leones circles are the place for you.
Absolutely, but the Falcons have a ton. Oh, Kiss dealt with, that's huge. Now it's a straight up 4v4, but a lot of frags available for the Falcons if they can find them, put them to good use. Waiting around the corner here is Santastico. You have to be so careful there. A little bit of damage done, but Some stuns, some frags of their own being exchanged. Is that one going to bounce close enough to H1 to do damage? No.
Nah,
Blue zone
lu.
as well to lock them right in that door.
Nah,
This is so
lu.
well
Huge
timed.
double blue.
It's 2, and they're in trouble.
Absolute perfection coming out from Falcons there. The double blue zone grenade, putting 2 of Rock down, and now the third one is down. Solds just has a forklift to hide behind, and the Falcons are swarming as they will find, oh, Solds will get kickstarted. We'll finish him off. That'll be another point picked up for Rock as the flashbangs are being sent through the smoke. Got to be careful here if your Falcons don't throw away an easy win.
Yeah.
There it is. There they
GG.
go. They've got it. There's a little bit of laughing there as maybe, okay, we got a little overeager at the end, but that's okay. They righted this ship and they get themselves a huge win to start the PGS8 final stage.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And if you get lucky by getting a central compound in Los Leones on a Los Leones circle, all's well in love and war. And they came out ahead. They defended their territory very, very well at the end there as well. Obviously clearing out Forest, clearing out Twisted Minds before turning their attention to Rock. And that double blue zone grenade, chef's kiss.
Beautiful. I mean, you can't credit them enough with how well they played it. Really like the way that Twisted Minds was proactive in that city final as well. As soon as they knew what it was, they took one of those prio spots inside of the city and got themselves really deep into this game. Forest, dude, they just rock and roll.
They're nuts, man. They're nuts. Keep an eye on those Forest boys. But right now, Falcons gets your first win of the PGS8 final stage. Let's throw it over to the desk to have them break it down.
Brand new jerseys doing it for the Falcons, boys. Day 1 of wearing it, and they get a win in the bag to start out the finals here at PGS8. In an urban ending, no doubt. Go on, Toffees. All right.
Yeah, sure. You may have sent 5 EMEA teams to the finals, and we only sent 2. But both of them were in the final 2, baby, as it was a game for the birds. Falcons got a good win. That's all. I got it all in. Thank you.
Keep going.
You want me to keep going? I'll tell you what, the boys from South America rocked the end game. They backfilled their way in there, but it was the Falcons in a tiramisu matchup. Layers of players on top of each other on those buildings. Twisted Minds, I thought they had it. Coolest parachute ever by example. It was dope, right?
Yeah.
But Shrimzy with that double barrel was like, pow, pow, pow. No one drops here.
Should we keep him going? A double barrel is 3 shots. Pop, 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 pow.
That's just how good Shrimzy is.
That's crazy. He has an extra shot in a
He
double
gets
barrel.
3 bullets out of a double barrel.
That is next level gameplay.
I will say this though, and give credit where credit is due. Their awareness from Shrimzy, listening for the parachutes to kind of come in where you're doing it, obviously coming out and dropping it. Then to go out and say, guys, I know exactly where there is.
It's because he got engaged recently. You have to learn to listen.
Oh, okay.
Is that the golden rule?
I'm really rolling today.
I love the push, the 2-man sandwich from 2 guys of VP to get all of 4 AM.
Yes.
To completely dominate that. That secured them a good amount of points there. That's a salvage kind of game you want where you're down to 2. So that's huge, and that put all of 4 AM completely in bid. This one, though, from 7-7-0, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, you know you do.
Oh, yes, I do. I mean, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And considering that they were kind of, I mean, yes, THRONMAX in a bit of desperation, trying to push in against that, but he had the perfect angle. I thought he was going to go down to util, did a little bit of dancing around those mollies. A brilliant play.
It really was. I mean, I think that was the fun part of seeing an urban ending to start off the finals, right? It was a unique experience for a lot of these players, something they don't get to practice all the time. The amount of teams, I think it was like 10 teams at one point were all stuffed in there by like 4. That double blue zone was amazing.
Yeah, that secured them the win there. And then to go in and clear the corner. Surprise! Shrimps just laughing and saying, ha ha ha. Double barrel in urban endings around corners. I love it.
I tell you what, every time you come and see these guys at the start of a final, they're like, I hope you didn't put me on your fantasy team. I'm feeling really crappy today. I don't think I'm going to do very good.
Oh, I feel neutral today,
I'm
guys.
just kind of neutral.
They do downplay it.
They sure do.
Yeah.
But
did you read through it? Did you put a Shrimsy on it?
no, I put a Tiggleton on my Tiggleton's on my team
Oh,
because
okay.
Shrimsy was so expensive. But you see why?
Yeah.
He just plays. He's not even playing the front fragger role. He's just playing cleanup. And he does so good with it.
Yeah, I do think they're on
The
course.
janitor.
They're on course very
Yes.
soon to be winning another international tournament. Whether it's this one or not, we will find out. But this is a brilliant start for them. 9 kills, 1,900 damage. Generally, in an
huge.
urban ending like this, so kills get very separated
It
amongst
does.
the lobby.
It gets completely spread out, obviously,
Yeah.
because you have this kind of the middle. Everyone kind of congested towards the middle, and everyone's going to die once you see the middle teams kind of push it out. So yeah, getting here 9, along with the win, that's huge. Fantastic start for them. But I'm very impressed with how Rock managed to stay 4 guys alive, getting the amount of kills they did, and kind of come in from that side that they did.
Yep.
They completely gatekept that side. That was good to see.
To get through with 5 kills, that shows a girth from Rock that we're not used to seeing. They sort of really spread out. They played very, very cleanly. I liked it. But back
They
to
are pretty big, those mythical rocks.
they they can carry an elephant.
Mythical, not prehistoric.
Yeah,
Just
that's
to
what I said,
continue.
mythical.
Yes, yeah,
I did
good
say
job.
mythical. I
Good
did
job.
change.
Change.
You
All
can
right,
call
but
me Dr.
Shrimsy.
Grant if you want.
Yeah, I know, I screwed up, I'm sorry. Shrimsy, though, with 5 kills and 751 damage. How much of that
Only
was
62
shotguns?
damage taken as well. It's barely a first aid.
I mean, even across, like, Tiggleton had 60 taken, I think. H1 was the highest at, like, around 3, and 0 on kick or something in that ballpark. That was, but, like, they just locked up their spot, didn't do much.
Seems like the golden number of damage taken when it comes to like getting big kill numbers. I think it was Type that had like 7 kills and then only 63 damage taken or something
like that.
around that.
Yeah, you're right.
But good start by Shrimsy, of course, here. Brilliant for the Falcons, and it sets them in such a strong position. Again, to get 9 kills out of this urban ending here, all things considered, when towards the very end, they hadn't had anything. They were just kind of waiting, biding their time. But Rock with 11 points, brilliant for them after such a blast of a last game for the
very
group
linear,
stage.
as you were pointing out, right? It's very, you know, 2, 3, 4, like just going all the way up. That's always what happens when you have these kind of urban endings here. And then to pop off, obviously 2 teams on double digits here for Rock and Forest. It's good to see. Kiss has been such a standout player.
Yes.
I've been impressed with what we've seen so far, and I hope he can continue that throughout the final.
He's been, go ahead.
No, so much so to the point where we're talking in the back. It's like, okay, yeah, he's with Forest Natural Gaming at the moment, but I think a lot of people might have their eyes on him.
I mean, if you talk to most of the players in the room, a lot of them have him on their fantasy teams. A lot of them have like, this guy is absolutely bananas to take in a 1v1. They talk about him all the time. Another team that was worth noting, GK Esports walked away with 6 kills. A lot of that coming from the back of that really nice play against BB team. They thought they had cleaned up, and he just got that backstab and got a few extra points out of it.
Quissy was hiding at the right time.
What do you think of Kiss? Yeah. Okay, well, he says he's a beeping mammoth. Perfect.
Madman.
All right, well, there you go.
He is, though. I mean, but that's the thing. That's why you got to love these events. You see a player that you haven't a lot of experience with, coming with a team that you didn't expect a lot out of, and he's so strong that he has made them an actual contender for performance.
And to add on that, I just want to go back to this GK here, right?
Yeah.
It's so important in these urban endings that you are fully aware of surroundings. And the kill feed tracking is even more important, right?
For sure.
Because there's going to be these 1 or 2 guys that are just hiding around. They also found the TKL player, of course. I think it was Cole. It's like, okay, he's there. But the high ground managed to pay out so much for Twisted Minds. If Forest wasn't having that angle on them, that would have been a thorn in the side for Falcons, but it ended up perfectly for them.
All right, let's get to it then. We have one more Dusty Dunes on the way for day number 1. As the casters said in the previous one, let's get it as we head over to Poro and Paper Thin.
Let's get it! Let's get it! Let's get it!
Let's
we
go!
got 1 Miramar in the bag, and Falcons fans are ecstatic.
Heck yeah.
Kickstart fantasy owners, thoughts and prayers.
I am so glad that I picked Tiggleton today. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you win the flip of the coin when it comes to Los Leona Circles. Falcons win that one, but they get 9 kills to go along with it.
They do.
Huge, huge start of the day here. And now we are back on Miramar. Same plane, same bat channel. Maybe we'll get the same circle. Hopefully not, right? Let's get something different, man.
But Los Leona
Los
Circles
Leona
are
Circles
so
are
fun.
There's no way, dude.
No.
If we ran back-to-back cities, I would think that would be crazier than getting
Maybe we get a Pozo Circle?
the cringy island circle.
Dude, okay, well, those are hilarious, but...
I mean, they're hilarious for like the first 10 minutes, and then it's 20 minutes of sitting there waiting for the last 5 people to actually find each other.
But, like, it can be kind of interesting in terms of, like, who's finding that one angle for that moment when they can actually swim and when they can find a boat. And maybe that, you know, now with emergency pickups and gliders in play, you never know.
Actually, you know, that's a good point.
I'm saying I think Island Circle's got legs.
I've not seen an Island Circle since the introduction of the pickup and glider, so that might actually make things kind of fun. As we do love an aerial battle, but we will get the central circle. Has Los Leones in it, has Picado in it, has everything in it. So this, by all accounts, should be a fairly slow early game. Hopefully. We'll see.
I pray for the crater finish. The crater edges are really, really fun, I think. But there's some of that open area in between Picado and Los Leones. That's the current center, and maybe it ends there. And then you got to have some good edge play, or get one of those kind of compounds early and try to work your way through that way. 4AM had a really solid game there, to be honest.
It was nice.
Yeah, they defended their territory. They got in. They did the best they could, given the situation, in my opinion. There wasn't a whole lot else. I mean, VP just kind of outplayed them, and it do be like that sometimes. When you gotta breach those compounds like that, you just gotta kind of send it and pray they don't have you know, panzers and grenades, and they usually do.
Yeah, all things said, no, I mean, there wasn't really much they could do there, and it was just really well played by VP. I mean, individual performances are fantastic. Kiss, obviously the sweetheart of PGS8 right now, Forrest's Kiss, has just been showing out as we get to see.
Wah, ini sih Owo sih, beduh, mengerikan.
The stuff of actual legends, the hard push, 32 HP, not scared at all. Only thing he's mad about is that he couldn't continue his reign of terror.
Yeah, what a perfect spot for the barrel too.
Oh,
I mean, just the perfect range for that.
You think an M4 wins that?
No.
You don't?
I don't think so.
Even
I think it's only barrel.
With the extendy?
I think only barrel.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, somebody go and do the
maybe
the check.
MP5, yeah.
Maybe.
Beli maka aja.
He didn't have to reload, I don't think. I don't think he reloaded, did he? No, I don't think he did.
Maybe he did after the first two.
He might have gotten that after the first one. But we did have a chance to sit down and talk with Type from T1. Let's hear what he has to say.
치킨 2번 먹어서 기분은 좋은데 이제 게임 내용이 좀 깔끔하지 않았어가지고 앞으로 더 발전할 수 있으니까 그거에 대해서 좀 만족감이 그렇게 크지 않았던 것 같습니다. 그냥 쉬는 동안 놀러도 가고 팀원들이랑 대화도 많이 하고 개인적으로 생각해가지고 좀 발전한 것 같습니다. 조금만 보완하면은 그래도 8등 안에는 무조건 들 수 있다고 생각합니다. 서로 다 잘하는 걸 알아서 대화만 더 잘 되고 피드백 나온 거 보완만 더 잘하면 잘할 것 같습니다.
Type ngabet type aja. Tiba-tiba banget aja. Tiba-tiba banget dia ngedep aja. Tiba-tiba banget. Aduh, Godfrey mati kan?
It's almost like
they'll also dab on you.
Yeah,
they'll also dab on you.
Oh wait, Freak's in trouble.
Goatvy?
Godv? Godv?
Maybe.
Nope.
Maybe not. Not this time. Next time.
Godfrey, ya ampun, ternyata omongan waktu itu yang bilang meme-nya Godfrey. Godfrey masukin tong sampah anjir. Godfrey, ya Allah, kenapa kamu nak aja loh. Ryan ini kocak juga. Navi sih ya ente aja ya dia. Nitrate, aduh tuh gitu Nitrate tuh. Group stage-nya menggila. Sekarang aja coba. Ini baru match kedua sih, cuman ya ampun, dapat aja belum. Kalau ini nggak dapet juga sih, gue udah ini loh. Kalau nggak Twisted Mind, Nitrate lo yang juara lo. Masa Nitrate nggak mau naik sih? Ini BB Team juga nih. Kenapa nih? DNF yang dulunya KDF juga jadi gimana gitu dia, kayak nggak semantap tahun lalu sih KDF kacau sih, ngeri. Sekarang tim-tim jadi tim papan tengah aja gitu. VP sangat berubah dari PGS 7 sih. Nggak banget sumpah VP.
Maybe not judging their splits. when they're safe and when they're not. That has cost them players. That you could argue it might have cost them a little bit in the grand finals last time, or in the final stage when they lost to a snake. Not being a little too over aggressive with a scouting player. Not having that straight up 4v4 against 17 in the end.
Do you think it might be just like general situational awareness, because that's what we saw last game too, right? Like they were coming in as a 3-man, I think, in the north side of Los Leones, got shot at by Baron. Everybody stopped down, and before they could even blink, they had the alternative, the third party from KISS that came in. They had no idea he was even there. So they had no idea Baron was there, no idea what KISS was there, no idea the snake in the grass was there at grand final. Maybe is it just maybe a communication issue? I don't know.
That's a tough one to say for sure.
It's
because
tough, yeah. We're not there, right?
Right,
Obviously.
and in the previous game, like a Los Leones circle like that, we haven't seen it at all.
Right.
Across these two events.
Sebenarnya mana sih, gue belum lihat tadi aja.
Who's doing what, where, when, and why is a lot harder to judge. So you have to rely on like your IGL's internal senses of a situation and how bad are So probably what Gumin is thinking there in that spot is, okay, there's guys up on the hills. We can stop here at these shacks because we'll be safe. We can get underneath them, and they weren't quite anticipating the angles that they were going to be seen from by KISS, especially. That was a huge problem. So just kind of a little bit of like panic.
Tawan nggak nih? Oh, udah ketahuan lu Karuk. Dipancing deh ini. Oh, tapi bisa kena tuh sama Daytrade tuh. Atau ompong. Wah, enggak, dia ketutup. Wah, ketutup dah.
100% comfortable with being extremely split. They'll eat some blue zone, they'll play the edge, and they'll play it really quiet until they know that they've got you at your most exposed, most vulnerable. So that time, just maybe we'll chalk it up to bad luck for the Freaks this time as we wait and see.
Los Leones.
Split towards the center. BB team, meanwhile, they showed GOPAY a little bit of something, or actually, I think GOPAY showed them a little bit of something. But
it was a little both.
It was a little bit of both. BB 3 points in that first game, and we'll hopefully see them get back on their high horse here in game number 2.
And I mean, at the end of the day, that was a rough spot to be in. Yeah, everybody coming out of that southern road basically died.
Sabar aja harusnya sih.
You weren't getting too much further. It's just too wide open. Coming out from some of those compounds that are going to have great vision onto you there. So even T1 try to just to see if they can
kurang relax sih kalau menurut gue.
Fighting or something like that couldn't quite get it to go.
GOPAY tried to come down the hill and they run right into 4 a.m. So it was just kind of like everybody was being funneled into that one death spot, right? Death funnel.
And you don't have any.
Let's call it that.
I like that, but you don't have any choice there in a lot of ways.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you might be seeing this and thinking, well, why don't you make a wide wrap or try to run down the hill? Well, you run down the hill, you run into the same problem. Yeah. You're just. I mean, Belmoth tried and he got a knock, right? Like
I mean, you're getting peppered by Twisted Minds, who's got high grounds.
Exactly.
You're getting shot at by anybody who happens to be in a compound on the edge. Like there's just nothing really that you can do there except for try to hope that you can win that fight here. We see the E pickup popped by T1 just on the western side of that Cantera crater. Looks like that should be a
raining. Stop.
Pops. So we'll see where the next one decides to take us. A lot of real estate taken up. The only place that's really empty right now is the very, very far south and the very, very far north. So any hard shifts will in that direction might cause some problems, but let's see. Okay,
akhirnya atas. Twisted Mind. Lunya kalau nggak gua DNF sama 4AM bisa nabrakin lu sih. T1 nggak jadi. Dia di kanan bawah nih bakal menggila nih. Kanan bawah bakal menggila nih. Mana BB nih?
That longhouse that Lou is in.
That's the one.
Very, very good. That spot is, but he's alone. So I'm kind of a little bit concerned for him if the Freaks kind of get wind of that. We've already seen that they're opportunistic at isolating and taking down individual players. There may be a chance for them to do that. T1 gonna have to drive through the dust storm though, and that's less than ideal because now you don't know exactly what 4 a.m. did in front of you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to kind of come out of that thing blind.
I mean, the good part about it is that nobody really knows what's happening with you either, as somehow Ryzen kind of got left behind here for GOPAY. Not sure what's going on there. It looks like he may be moving around. I don't know. We'll check back in. Rock coming into that western side of Picado. Looks like they've found a compound that they're comfortable in. TKL, meanwhile, going to regroup everybody just off to their southwest. T1 continuing that wrap into the cliffs, the mountains just to the south of San Martin, and they should be just fine. There's nobody up there, so lots of room to play around.
And if it's one of those circles that ends near the rock ledges to the east of Power Grid, you can actually play from that hill and get pretty deep into games. So for T1 here, this isn't the end of the world. You know, yeah, you don't have one of those compounds or positions that's next to that road that runs from Picado to San Martin.
Sure.
But if you could stay up there, control some of that high ground, keep Falcons kind of busy with their positions also near the high ground, you might be able to come out of this pretty well, pretty deep into the game. It just depends, because if the next circle hard shifts down to the south or the east before it necessarily needs to, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're actually going to leave E-End over in that direction just in case, so that they have a method of backfilling. But I think they just realized that they're all by themselves. It looks like
Baru satu ya. Baru menit 10-12 juga sih.
Backfilling where T1's E-End is right now, coming through Minas Generalis, but they now
Di sini udah mulai PS2 nih, udah mulai ada yang ketemu, ada yang kebegal nih. PS2 ke PS3 nih pas nutupnya, kita lihat nih. Bibi muter kiri jauh, oke. Bibi di match 2 ini mirip gua kalau main PUBG, zonanya sumbung jauhnya. Tap. Temu bego apakah?
Depends on when they notice it and how well they're set up. I mean, they're putting some players up on the Pride Rocks that are just to the southwest of Power Grid. So they're going to have some good vision down into there for sure. BB going to have to make some decisions. There are open compounds. There is that warehouse just to their east they could think about. VP has the circle not too far away from them. So might be able to just kind of hunker down towards the edge a little bit and wait this one out. See if, and then you start looking for your moment where another team's fighting ahead of you, where you can bust things open that way, find a good timing.
T1 taking a page out of 4 AM's book as they have popped their second e-pickup.
Oh my God.
Power Grid tuh kosong.
What?
To go to the northwest and Power Grid is in it, and all of a sudden
2 kali loh buka begituan loh.
This is about to be brutal.
Keren sih.
Look how many teams are off to the southeast.
Falcon enak banget.
Has to be on the clock here. They're holding Picado.
Aduh, lunya. Kita lihat lu. Tenang kan? Mau gak mau belum, masa nerus gila sih.
I think they're realizing this is a bad spot to
Oh,
be.
aman.
We're about to have a lot of friends. Let's go take a spot that's better immediately.
17 right back at home. They came and they went. I was just about to say, I'm worried about
Aduh.
Salute. He was driving right towards the Falcons, trying to be that point man for the Freaks. Here goes
Trimzy.
4 of them. They're going to actually win that battle. Heaven there. Going to take down Trimzy. Tiggleton backed off a little bit. The Freaks get underneath the rocks. Get
Entenya
underneath the
Trimzy.
Falcons'
Lempar
noses.
bom sih.
What more
Tiggleton.
can they do with that? Meanwhile, Daytrade losing players. Twisted Minds on the outside of Picado. Find 2 for Perfectix.
Can he get one more? He's going to find no.
Tolongin. Itu tolongin.
Perfectix says he's going for the flush, trying to
Ya
secure the point.
Allah.
Flash is getting pinged down, so he will go down.
Itu tukar 2 ya oke lah. Tapi kayak harusnya sih nggak begitu.
Spread out all across this northern side of Picado, and the rest of the team not able to get
Balik
over
aja sih, balik aja. Kurang worth it lah. Mau sendiri doang jauh tuh. 2 loh, masih ada loh.
They might start making their way up here soon.
A little bit worried about EN for T1. There's 2 teams, 4 AM and Geekay right next to him up on the northern side of this circle. Lou has another Panzer. We've seen what he can do with it.
Oh no, example's gone down. Rock had eyes on this as well.
Sampelnya gimana deh?
Spot example from way downtown. As
Jauh gila.
by himself again, point man as 4 AM
Kalau
is gonna
mati.
scrap on this northern side.
GK-nya bisa sih ngenain N itu. Illusion. Illusion.
That nobody backfilled. Unfortunately, everybody's backfilling. That's just how the circle is going to play. As BL get another Tigger now from Daytrade. Rock finding
Oh, dia di tengah anjir N-nya.
by third and fourth party in this fight.
Oh, uset di situ ya.
So careful in this
Dapat tuh
situation.
lu.
He's got some oversight from his teammates. They can keep track of what's going on around him, but Geekay is going to make the wide rotation away from this. There is some room on the other side. Navi, though, angling in the same direction. So is T5. There's a bunch of teams trying to get up on the northwest end, and a Tungmu going to take down EN.
Tungmu,
Not much that
anjay.
T1 can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, he was on an island. He had to play like he was on an island. And he does get spotted out, gets taken down, but the rest of T1 have that north side of power grid. Bagopaz Khan has made his way into the south side of that power grid. So T1, they have to be ready for this. You can see them taking
masih
shots
dapat
off
lagi.
to the north as Theraton 5 will find Stead. Fluky gets flushed out, but Fluky will flush out Stead, and then he gets flushed out by Sosa. Trades going along all the way in this northern side. Spiro still out in the blue as the rest of PK is holding the line on this northern side of the circle.
This is absolute madness. This is all fighting deep into the blue. Rossiter Jr. finds a good angle, gets the knock onto Sosa. Grenade up and over. Could be dangerous if it's on point. It is!
Oh,
that should be the end. Oh, it's just barely. He ticked the health. Ferris so lucky there, and now Rossiter Jr. in trouble, and he's down. Ferris has got him.
Matilah entenya.
Will be our first team eliminated here in match number 2. But GK looks like they should be able to get everybody in, and they're doing trying to get better spots.
Kelihatan kah itu? Nggak ngeliat kah?
Just running.
Kayaknya nggak ngeliat.
Padampong on his back, but GK will get that spot early, the high ground early. But
Sample nice.
Meanwhile, Day Trade does finally get eliminated by Twisted Minds. Batulins was rezzed back on his feet, so they are 3 strong, still trying to play out of Picado, but they've got to get on the move.
Yeah, and the Freaks have gotten into a compound, but H1 was there, did a ton of damage to Heaven, got the knock onto Gumin, and so the Freaks trying to maneuver around this fortification that the Falcons have set up, starting to pay the price, and now the double blue zone grenade going to come out there, but a good grenade from DL has him knocked. The follow-up can't find the flush, but Gumin, do you have a blue zone bag, or are you just outside of it? Hard to tell from this angle. DL trying to hold on.
Bisa diselamatin dong, Win dong.
Human, I don't know if you can get rezzed here. He's getting shot up and kickstarts. Blue Zone is going to get it. Salute done as well. Kickstart gets around the edge and finds some big knocks.
What a hero kickstart as he comes down at the perfect time. Has to find a spot to heal up here, though, as an E-pickup has been popped by Twisted Minds down in Picado. And they're going to throw some... Oh, that's a good utility. Just gets there before Kickstart can get the heal off. As 17 Gaming gets absolutely wiped and destroyed by T1. They tried to make it up to the north, and they found T1 waiting.
Now VP right ahead of T1, but nobody's inside of power grid proper. There could be an angle there to move through. DL trying to hold the line, nailed some great grenades. Has to back up. He is really in danger in that building.
Tigleton sih tinggal ngeliat aja ke bawah sebenarnya ini mah.
From Forest to make sure that is clear. DL gonna have
Tigleton doang.
Reset. Twisted Minds though able to come through. Yeah, off of a E pickup. They were able to come out of Picado and get dead center. Beautiful macro play from them.
Nicely done. Is very rare that you see a phase pickup actually work without losing anybody. Here we go. VP now.
BM-nya.
T1 the smoke wall on that ridge line.
BM-nya bahaya ini, BM-nya.
Not finding it. They'll find Luca Rux. They'll flush at least. Beamy has an angle onto Heather here. Gets him low but can't flush him out. We'll spot out Type though. Will win that one.
Kurang sabar sih, tapi ente nggak apa-apa dah. Aduh, hitarnya bahaya. Hitarnya bahaya. Ibiza res. Wah, gila T1 mengerikan. T1 mengerikan. Nyala kah ini T1 kah? Ganti kah gue jadi T1 ini? Nggak jadi Detra? Oke, kita ganti T1 atau enggak Twisted Mind ya. Twisted Mind masih tetap ya. Pokoknya udah fix Twisted Mind. Gue udah paling fix.
He's just trying to see what he can scoop up in terms of health there to get things going a little bit longer. Gonna try to sneak through this little crevice underneath to the Freaks there because they're busy dealing with Forest, DL and Heaven. The only 2 left for them, trying to hold the line against a team that we know is ferocious in team fights. Kiss, Baron,
susah pergi sih ya Nev ini.
But the Freaks there need to throw out some smokes. They want to make a move. You'd love here as the Freaks if you could find Tiggleton, at least get another point out of this. I mean, it's going to be hard to get much further in this game, especially in a 2v4 fight. Nearly unwinnable, but tons of smokes to try to make some kind of move. Maybe just going to make a play for the car. No, they're going to get aggressive.
Yeah, Forest, they've sent Olympus inside the zone, so this is just a 3-man push. 3v2 with Tiggleton on the back. Baron hiding in the smokes. Deal
Dude.
goes through. He's got the shotty waiting for him, though. He'll spot out Deal. Olympus will get taken down by Type, though, so that's their front man that was sent in. They'll at least secure this point. Let's see if they can finish off Heaven. He is ducking and dodging between the buildings, but Kiss is just waiting for him to peek. It doesn't matter. How does Heaven win that? That was unbelievable.
He got headshotted too. I mean, he's dead now, but he's at least gotten himself an extra point for the Freaks. He had no business winning that fight. Kiss holding the angle, hits ahead, and he still somehow wins it. Now you're going to have to deal with another Korean team. T1 is watching that push out from Force, but not much they can really do about it from that angle without giving themselves up to other players. Instead, just let Type do the job.
Type
And
mengerikan.
that's another kill. 13 for T1.
Hope he's got some 5-5 though. My man is running low on the ammos. As Raining will get spotted out from range by RB and Rock.
Hiternya, hiternya. Tingleton, iya. Aku terlihat, aku terlihat. Aku tak terlihat, aku tak terlihat.
And Tingleton managing to sneak his way in to the zone.
Tingleton.
What timing for Tingleton? At least hopefully going to get into placement points potentially. See if he can get that far. He's the
Teori aku tak terlihat anjir.
8th place spot.
Aku tak terlihat, aku tak terlihat, aku tak terlihat.
He's kind of center circle. Twisted Mind is hunkering down in a great grenade there. A lot of them gonna find
Tingleton enak banget itu. Tingleton enak banget sih itu. Soalnya nggak ngeliat.
Jeez Louise, the hard shift up to the north on C2, C3, and now everything's come south since. And
ya, cuma tinggal satu.
They've got a spot playable. Rock, they've got, well, what they think they have is complete control of the eastern side. What they don't know is that they've got a sneaky Tingleton that's hiding right next to their own car.
Kalau si Santastico-nya ngeliat sih. Santastico-nya udah ngeliatnya ke depan sama kiri. Ryzen dapetin Songjang dari GOPAY. Was basement.
But then they managed to keep 4 alive all the way to the late game. They are in a beautiful spot. Example will take out that last player from TKL. And now GOPAY and GK. GOPAY has been hanging out on this
turun mau nggak mau GOPAY ini.
long time, but they have to come down. But they know that
Ryzen
right beneath them.
Yeah, GK is their best option to get off of this rock. Going the other direction towards BB, it's going to be a lot more exposed. Decent grenades do some okay
Kabur nggak sih Ryzen?
Not as close as you'd like them to be for sure. Park Pro gonna let loose with another one. They got to figure out a way to deal with Quizzy, and then they can take this fight against Taruzen a little bit more cleanly. Still Heather behind this, waiting for T1 to see if he can find his opportunity to maybe steal some kills or backstab when the moment arises. GOPAY slow and steady now. Got to start thinking about some smokes. Probably just got the eyes on the PWD there.
Langsung saja di end.
He will immediately get traded down again. Haruzen had to run out into the blue zone trying to see if he can maybe sneak around them, but they did spot him.
Haruzen nggak jelas.
He's got that hard cover as GOPAY. They lose one, but they still have a way inside the zone. They got to keep those smokes blooming. But look at Heather, last player alive for T1. Be damned, he is still ADR farming.
Yeah, this is nice stuff from Heather, finding his moment to strike. The Molly's now out right at the rotation path here for GOPAY. They're able to go around the right-hand side of the car, but Songjang taking a bunch of damage, can't find the angle to get it in there. Heather gonna come through, finds another knot. Tingleton in the meanwhile, able to backstab Rock, find another point for
malah hitter yang dapat.
PWD on his own, and they're just gonna push out towards him, switches over to the sawed-off, gonna go for the point blank, but he tries the ball, and he pays the price.
Oh, I don't know if that, I don't think that ball was intentional. I think that might have been on accident, but Tingleton will go down.
Selesai, Falcon. Kepencet kah itu? Lo gak main, duka kita gas. Nontonin aja Sam.
Solos of Heather and Songjang on that.
Ngelek.
North side, an example in Lou still playing around in the middle. They're starting to flex out a little bit though. Example, or Lou rather, catching himself in no man's land, and he will be taken down by Biel.
Yeah, this is looking really nice for BB team right now. They're able to
Kalian juga udah oke.
solid chunk of the circle for themselves. They have a ton of cover to work with. Sungjang doesn't really have many avenues to get
Sampai
into this next circle.
pengen nyoba mos baru. Gua kemarin nyoba juga mos, tapi mos temen gua nyoba apa namanya FANTECH Helios. Tapi kurang cocoknya karena kekecilan. Mos apaan Sam? Gipro kah? Gipro super light. Mos apa tuh?
That'll be the first kill for BB team there as well. As just the game has not come anywhere near them. Everything has been on the east and they were on the quiet side.
Gue juga pengen ganti mos gue udah setelah nyoba yang FANTECH itu aja kayak anjir lah. Enak banget, enteng banget. Terus responsif, kliknya. Gipro wireless. Bedeh. Mengerikan.
Currently in third place overall.
Yeah, RBN was talking about how important it was, you know, to
gas lah nanti jam berapa ya? Sampai match 3. Lu aman nggak maksudnya secara siapa?
Ruin a team's day in a heartbeat.
Oh my god. Oh, don't stand up straight.
Jadi mau beli yang super light takut keringanan. Iya tapi sebenarnya ya gue juga menurut gue yang gue nyoba FANTECH nggak keringanan sih, itu karena itu aja sih, karena apa namanya, karena kekecilan sih tangan. Tapi itu lu di tangan pas sebenarnya paling ngaruh tuh, yang paling ngaruh gripnya sih masih dapat loh. Ngaruh di gripnya kalau menurut gua. Kalau masalah ringan sih nggak begitu ngaruh ya. Cocok di tangannya, gripnya gimana? Gue malah pas nyoba FANTECH kekecilan, gue bingung ngegripnya gimana. Claw grip sih udah nggak bisa gua. Dulu gua claw grip, cuman sekarang udah nggak claw grip. Nah tapi kalau pakai itu grip apa lagi tuh namanya, itu dah jadi bingung. Bingung grip tapi enak banget sih, enteng malah enak deh kalau kata gue dah.
Nothing anybody can do to try to go for that flush onto Phil first.
Yeah, Phil first going down also gave Rock that high ground advantage, right? They had the flanker side.
Iya Gipro sih gede dia sih, lebih agak panjang dah, seingat gue berapa senti dah. Dia nggak begitu tinggi. Gue sebenernya panjangnya sih, panjangnya itu loh. 80 gram udah ringan. Iya sih. Ini gue juga nggak tahu berapa gramnya. Kayak segituan deh. Tapi abis gue pakai yang itu FANTECH cuma berapa gram doang gitu. Ya 60-an gitu dah. 10-50 gitu, lupa gue. Itu enteng banget, kayak beda. Nah justru gue kalau pakai yang kemarin, gue FANTECH itu buat main PUBG enak tuh, cuman emang bingung di gripnya doang, tapi enak banget. Kayak buat narik, banting kiri kanan. Nah begitu buat main Valo bener-bener nggak bisa nembak gue buat main Valo. Gipro 305 itu enak katanya. Wireless bukan sih itu? Itu kalau gue lagi nyari mouse keluar mulu itu. G305.
We push them as they are pressed right up against the wall. This is what BB team does best. They put you in a bad position and then force you to play from it. But good spray from RBN opens up a little.
Tapi banyak yang ngomong juga, yang nggak tahu ini apa endorsean orang-orang ya, tapi FANTECH Aria, FANTECH apa tuh ya? Tapi dia bentuknya kayak
this thing until the bitter end. It's
Yang kayak segitiga gitu jadi kayak kok trapesium sih, kayak ketupat, gitu gitu loh, apa ya, gue lupa itu musuh itu. Itu juga katanya enak, 3.000 udah 3395. ROC mengerikan. Yang penting sensornya sih gua. Wah, harus wireless juga. Kalau nggak wireless gua udah angkat tangan dah sekarang. Kalau nggak wireless sih males anjir.
They had him down to a 4v2, and that is not by any means a throw from BB Team.
Not at all.
That is just amazing individual play from one player. The kind of stuff that wins tournaments. You want your big guys to show up at big moments, and there's no bigger moment than this, the grand final of PGS8.
Kalau nggak wireless tuh ke sekarang, aduh, jauh.
Well, I'm going to quote the rest of the team from Rock. Fantastico is fantastico. What a performance coming out from that young man right there. That was insane. It was a little bit.
Lu free sampai jam berapa Sam biar nanti gua nggak ini.
Constantly fed the way off him, but he knocked it out of the park for Rock. I don't think anybody watched that. No.
Ya mereka lain takut gak cocok. Tapi emang biasanya kalau dia cocok satu brand, apa ya ada Zoe itu apa ya? Kata sebener ya. Sama aja nonton lu. Oke. Apa ya, gue lupa kemarin lihat di TikTok itu potongannya. Akun official lah yang bikin klip. Ya sebenarnya kan itu mah kalau masalah MOS cocok-cocokan sih, mau ngikutin pro player juga kalau nggak cocok ya. Dia juga ngomongnya cocok di tangan dia secara gripnya kayak gitu-gitu kan. Intinya gue kalau kekecilan sih anjing nggak bisa gue. Kemarin tuh gue nyoba FANTECH itu sih kekecilan. Gue meracuni temen gue baru main PUBG juga, terus pakai dia punya cuman mos 100.000-an doang anjir. Gue bilang mana bisa ini mah main PUBG pakai begini, langsung dia beli. Langsung aja gue kasih tau yang sensor bagus doang. Dia beli itu langsung. Dia kalau mus, iya kan lebih ke grip kan. Merek mah iya. Apa aja sih? Gimana gripnya? Soalnya biar santai gitu megangnya. Nah, ini mulai nih. YouTube kalau udah habis maghrib mulai ngelek ini jujur. Nggak tahu nih. Ya udah sebulan lo begini lo. Kayak suka buffering, aneh. Sumpah YouTube aneh banget. Grip sama sensor sih sekarang mah.
Head to head and winning not 1v1s, not 1v2s, 1v3 pluses against them.
The hilarious thing is that I didn't think coming out of this game anything was going to top the discussion point of T1. However, right? We're kind of there. Let's take a look at the rest of Rock and then we can talk about T1.
Sure.
Because Rock deserves
because of you. Aduh. Pusing banget dah YouTube kenapa ya?
For Fantastico, those three towards the end are making that clutch happen unbelievably pivotal. To be honest, he's not going to get man of the match, but I think he is the man of the match for me in my
Selalu dan selalu begini.
Yeah.
To have a clutch moment like that, to be able to turn this around, that stun grenade in the very end, that was just perfectly executed, right? And he was under pressure.
As always.
All that they had, even after Tickleton backstabbed, and even then he put them down to being only 3. There should have been some sort of manager. It's gonna be BL with 600.
Enggak ikut nggak ada Indo anjay. Nggak lolos tahun ini.
So man of the match, BL, but you're right. Honorary goes to
Timnya TD lagi bad play banget. Timnya Trick ini apa namanya? Telat panas. Kalau nggak salah telat panas udah kayak baru match akhir tuh baru mulai ini dapat poinnya baru mulai tuh. Ganti roster baru sih yang kemarin lolos PGS PGC. Nyarian jujur tapi mau di komen kayak gini banyak aja. Apalagi tahun kemarin tuh pas masuk PGS PGC kan waktu itu namanya Bleed ya, Bleed Esport ya. Wah udah, oh ini harus ada supernya nih. Gimana ya? Sebenarnya kalau menurut gue secara aim udah oke ya. Kayak kelihatan ini doang sih tim Indo man, kayak nembak kurang pede aja sih. Entah nembak, entah rotasi. Kelihatannya doang ya kayak takut gitu loh. Ini secara gua nonton aja ya, tim Indo kayak gitu. Pas kemarin PGS, PGC ikut itu ya. Terus kemarin pas kualifikasi pun begitu, kayak masih ada ragu-ragu lah ya. Rotasinya. Kalau aim sih oke aja ya. Tapi secara rotasi kayak dari Amerika dah. EMEA ya? Ya Amerika rotasi ada RBN soalnya. Amerikas. Tahu tapi dari mananya? Kalau EMEA Falcon, Navi, Twisted Mind, apa lagi ya? GK kayaknya deh. Tim-tim Valo kok jadi Valo, tim PUBG dilihat-lihat mirip ini anjir, mirip PB, kayak nama tim ganti-ganti, kayak cuman tim-tim gede doang ya, kayak Navi, Twisted Mind, jadi itu aja yang tim-tim gede, sisanya kayak nanti ganti nama apa ide gitu doang. Kebanyakan kayak gitu ya. Gue sih gue megang tetap masih yang juara nih. Kalau kata gue, kalau nggak Twisted Mind, T1 dah. Tadinya gue mau die trade kocak. Liquid nggak ikutan ya? Liquid nggak. Kalau apa nggak lolos ya? Ada nggak ya? Lupa gue aja. Pasti ini kayaknya nggak. Ah udah ada tim PUBG-nya nggak dia? Ibiza di Virtus Pro di VP dia. Kemarin PGS 7 dia parah sih. Kalau nggak salah ya 12 match cuman 6 match cuman 6 apa 12 ya, kayak cuman dapat 9 poin apa, parah dah, nggak lolos dia ke final stage kemarin. Oh 6 match cuma dapat berapa doang gitu, parah kemarin Virtus Pro anjir. PGS 7 sih stack berapa tuh dia, pokoknya nggak 2, ini kan ada 24 tim, kayaknya stack 22 atau 23 gitu seinget gua dah. Tapi sekarang udah bangkit lagi nih dia. Ibiza kemarin gokil anjir pas grup stage, lempar bom langsung satu squad anjir, rata sama dia. Marah Ibiza anjir. Die trade sih gila sih kalau menurut gua nih, die trade nih. Die trade group stage gila loh. Tapi begitu final stage atau enggak match udah akhir melempem. Ini kayak sekarang nih, masa baru dapat 1 poin. Gila banget die trade anjing. Kemarin juga PGS 7 si Tigleton lolos nggak ya ke final stage? Oh Twisted Mind yang nggak lolos. PGS 7 sih ini anjir aneh. Tigleton di Falcon, udah Sonic sudah bubar anjir, langsung diakuisisi sama Falcon. Semuanya pada pindah ke Falcon. Oh hampir juara kemarin Falcon, hampir juara. PGS 7 hampir juara. Nyaris juara, terbalak anjing gara-gara rata duluan. PUBG agak-agak itu udah recoilnya ngeselin, susah, zona menjauh mulu, gak mikir gitu. Road to EWC. Habis Isa lagi tegas ya Sam ya. Jam 7-an habis Isa kita langsung duo aja. Gua ini dulu apa, end stream dulu tapi ganti stream baru. Kalau siapa sekarang udah lama. Kalau di Apak saya Himas sih, teman Himas nggak lolos dia tim ke PGS ini. Tapi kalau menurut gua ya, kalau secara keseluruhan sampel udah paling gila sih. Soalnya kemarin di statistiknya tuh sampel kill di setiap turnamen itu yang megang itu sampel sama Himas secara kill ya, kayak total kill PGS, total kill PGC yang megang Himas sama tahun kemarin sih ya, tahun kemarin tuh PGS, PGC itu yang megang Himas sama sampel sih. Menurut gue nih sampel batu lens oke juga OP. Kalau si Falcon OP-nya dia di rotasinya sih, baca zonanya jago banget sumpah Falcon. Srimzi tapi ngeri juga Srimzi. Tigalton juga OP. Tapi kok di turnamen dia nggak yang bantai-bantai banget sih. Tapi di group stage dia ngebantai-bantai sih. Kill banyak dia anjir dibanding Srimzi. Tapi menurut gue sih sekarang paling OP banget sampel Batulin sih gila. Sampel sama Batulin udah paling OP itu. Kalau menang lagi harusnya kalau kemarin PGS 4 Twisted Mind menang, buset deh 4 kali berturut-turut anjir. Bayangin aja Twisted Mind anjir, PGS 4 menang, PGS 5 menang, PGS 6 menang. Coba PGS 7 kemarin juara juga. Buset dah. 3 kali berturut-turut juara aja udah mereka doang. Bagi 4 kali anjir, susah banget. Oke, mereka juga kayak ya udahlah PGS sekedar aja dah. Ngincar PGC sama EWC kali dia. PGC EWC kemarin Sonic Falcon yang menang kan. Si Sonic EWC Sonic, PGC The Expendables saya yang menang PGC nggak lolos ini sekarang. Nggak lolos final stage PGS 8. The Expendables. Seru juga tuh kemarin PGC anjir. Pas final stage hari ketiganya. Real anjir kejar-kejaran poin. Zonanya.
Circle has popped and we are going back down to the southeast. Looks like we're centering just off to the northwest of Buksansa.
Yeah. So we'll see. We had a circle over here the other day.
Wah, penyeberangan mengerikan sih. Kalau nggak pakai EP. Mulai lagi ngelek-ngelek nih aneh anjir.
A few awkward situations trying to cross those bridges, but the westernmost bridge has 2 levels, so it makes it a lot safer to get across. One of those bridges you got to make a jump, and you can do it from the north side to the south side. You know, a lot of times you're going to see teams using the ramp, but there is that little, I don't even know what to call it, like a girder that sticks out.
Yeah. There's a way to do it. It's definitely possible. We've seen teams do it, and we've seen the same team fail it. So sometimes it's a lot harder to miss or harder to hit than you might otherwise indicate. Well, Biel and the rest of the Rock Boys already sending it down across the bridge, so they won't have to worry about any potential bridge camps. T1, meanwhile, after the freight train that they boarded in game number 2, what did they end up with? Like 13 kills, something like that? It was
14 maybe.
Bananas.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I think T1 pulled off of their Chumasera drop spot, and I think you can pretty well say that ended up being the right decision for them.
I would say so.
This is a team that can fight out in the open with the best of them, and they are showing you why. Tremendous mechanics. Sonic was praising his team's sort of diligence during the week off, where they were grinding, they were practicing a lot, getting ready for this. There's still a lot at stake for this T1 squad in terms of their rankings and where they're going to be going the rest of the year and getting into EWC and things like that. So yeah, they are fully locked in, at least so far, here in the finals, and definitely looking forward to this. I'm just gonna shut up and watch.
Iya, Ben lu di mana ya?
A little replay here of sweet Santastico.
Gue lupa nama timnya Ben lu di mana ya?
1v1s that BB was willing to provide him after they went up 4-2.
Falcon.
Or 4-4 is to
Iya, Falcon ya.
Playing that rock like a Stradivarius.
Falcon kalau nggak salah tuh siapa juara RBN tuh siapa lagi ya? RBN lu kayak Falcon dah. Terus Sonicnya bubar mereka RBN-nya apa? Masa Falconnya semuanya ganti roster, gantinya Sonic deh.
With Shrimzy, my captain. All right, Falcons won that bird war on the first Miramar, but we saw you laugh heavily at the end. What happened?
Well, Tig was talking a lot of smack, so I just decided to put him down and get the last kill for all the fantasy users.
Do it for the fans. All right, thank you. Thank you too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're gonna go back to Tego. Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you. I mean, look, it's good that the boys are keeping the fantasy players in mind. As Nixie has that M249 and okay, they'll get Duns, they'll get Cold, they'll get Spaceman. Can they get Suze as well? As they executing a little bit of a bridge camp over by the
Bisanya bantuin dong, kasihan dong.
Kill.
TKL ini aduh.
Not here in these grand finals, and now VP able to play Tego the way they want to, and they're going to find 3 kills to start off the match.
Well, I talked about it at the beginning. So many teams on that northern island. Had to wonder, is
mana ini Belmont sama Tiger nih, aduh.
When we were watching some of the highlights from the last game, their reaction after losing that battle against T1, you know, a lot of frustration being shown, and this is a way to kind of again reset, change your mindset, change everything about the rest of the day potentially. Get one of those good bridge camps, get some good kills, and kind of move from there. And they are back up to 4 strong, and they take 3 away from Taikula.
While that's going on, we have 2 E pickups in the air as well, as we've got BB Team and Theraton 5 making their way down to the southeast. It looks like BB Team will go long, and they should be free. We'll keep an eye on Theraton 5, see where they go. T1, meanwhile, on this northern side, getting a little close to Twisted Minds, but should be safe. I think they're just stopping down to scout a little bit.
Dude, I love how BB just said, screw it, we're going as far away from everything as possible. They are completely on the other side of the circle, knowing that it's going to be wide open for the looting and vehicles and all those good things. T5, you know, I don't know what they're planning. Are they going to try and drop on Buksansa? No, maybe going all the way to Ohyang. The 5 roads, that's what Ohyang means essentially, is like 5 roads.
Well,
yeah, I think something like that.
Not me stopping right now to count every single road going into Ohyang. Well, I can see T5 dropping, and that looks to be the play. They're going right in there, and let's count the roads, chat. 1, 2.
Well, there's like 5
3,
like
4,
intersections, I think, or something like that.
5.
I don't know.
You know what? Count it.
Yeah.
So it looks like 5 to me.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Well, their top 5. Looks like Fluky will stop down in Ohyang proper. The other guys kind of spreading out. I think when you have the E pickup, right, one of the first priorities to see if you can maybe get vehicles if they haven't been picked off, and it looks like they should be safe as far as that's concerned. Now, BB Team did have eyes on them as they were dropping, so Ranger X got left behind. Not sure.
Oh, see the JR.
But you can see Rossa did his situation a little bit rough. He had to dip.
I'm a bit worried about Ranger X.
Yeah, he might be in trouble here. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. 4 a.m. meanwhile, see them just east of center circle. Now they've got Forest just off to their west and Buksansa off to the south. Falcons also off to the south here, but they should be safe in this 2-2 split. Very tight 2-2 split. Very close to each other. I mean, in fact, you can see both on the same mini-map here.
Yeah, should be fine for now, you would think. Rock going to play southwest side in between Daytrade and VP, but everybody kind of lined up in similar fashions, getting ready for this next circle. Just, you know, point man, stretch out towards the edge of the circle with 3 members and try to find some open space. Now, the good news here for Rock is that compound just ahead of RBN is in fact open, and they've likely got prio onto it unless VP just happens to take a 90-degree turn to their right and drive over to it. But it seems like they're just content to keep taking whatever space is given to them. Begopa grabs one of their E pickups and puts it down near Yongchun. And they are going to, I assume, be taking this all the way. I don't think they want to cross any more bridges. And just try to see what Circle 2 does. And there goes VP, yep. Just, they did, they turned. So they're going to see this, our Rock. But this compound there, still open, and VP actually isn't going to go for it either. They're just going to retreat back to safety of the high ground compound.
Yeah, VP kind of driving by feel there a little bit, just seeing if anybody would take shot. Now, Sosed for Navi was all by himself in the southern part of a split, and now he's going to get joined by Ferrist. But he took a few shots at VP, and that might have helped out Rock a little bit, as Rock and you can see BL just out of line of sight is Virtus Pro. Interested to see where GOPAY do decide to drop, because like there is not a whole lot. I mean, you almost have to go as far south as you can here. T1, they're kind of running parallel on that eastern road. They're gonna get close to 4 a.m. if they continue this direction, but it looks like they're turning in.
Yeah, just a pre-rotation here for T1. Just have to be very careful with these driving paths. You're gonna be dangerously close to 4 a.m. And there they are, 4 a.m. right on top of it. HS, that is disgusting. That's
Buset.
nasty stuff from HS. And
ASM apa-apaan itu?
close to the sun.
Beautiful from HS, as that is 2 points picked up by 4 a.m. T1 in tatters right now. Heather still off to the north, raining, just sending it into Buksansa. But Buksansa is already occupied as VP now pushing into the Navi compound. They had a Navi 2-2 split. They catch Ferris and Sosed. Remember, I said Ferris came and joined Sosed, but Ferris will get spotted on the roof. The rest of the boys have arrived, though, and this has now turned into a full 4v4.
All right, let's see what they can do. Knocks to both teams. It's a fair fight around the edge. Gotta be so careful there, my guy. You are in trouble. Points at Hakatori. Just better. Nixie had the DMR out. Hakatori with an AUG doing better. And look at Rock, opportunistic. This is what I love to see.
And Santastico and BL are on the move, heading over in this direction, but GK is also on the way over here. Freaks on the way over here. The southwestern side of the circle is about to turn bloody as heck, as Navi continuing to hide out in the bushes will hit him in the face with that molly, and it is not going to knock him out. Look at the bullets. Oh, it's so short. BL with the shot to find Ibiza.
And Rock, they stole both of those knocks. They got a couple extra big kill points there. Hakatori winding up. Another frag, just gonna miss. Lucarux around the other corner, so they guessed it. Paid the price. Sosa down, stayed, turn up to bat. Reaching that angle. Oh, if he had peeked that angle, it doesn't matter. Lucarux still comes up through the window.
Lucarux with the AUG will jump in. He want to try to secure those
dilombatin dong. Masuklah.
They know exactly where Hakatori was, so he knows that he is free to come in here and clean these up. And gives him a little bit of hard cover.
Tutup dulu pintu itu, bahaya banget anjir.
Since abandoned, but Freaks still sniffing around over here. They see
Cur, pala itu.
from Luca. He's got 300
Gak jadi balik lagi.
As soon as he falls out the door, he's met with a bullet from Freaks.
Yeah, the Freaks though, not really much left they can do in this fight. Maybe leave one. Maybe just Gumin to watch with the DMR. See if he can find a freebie. But you know Rock isn't too far away either, so you have to be extra careful as the Freaks, because you don't know exactly where they went off to. You're going to have to get a little bit of info on their positioning before you commit to this fight a little bit heavier. And in fact, they're getting shot at by, I think, 17.
17, yeah.
So Freaks kind of just were hoping, and they were just a hair late to the party. And this is nasty stuff. 1, 2, 3. It's just a headshot in the middle.
Change target. Blap, 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 blap. And flip. One more. Why not? Easy for HS. Well, Gumin has stuck behind here. The rest of the Freaks started making their way off to the north, but not really far removed from each other. They've got Heaven in a compound off to the north, so Gumin really just kind of free to watch over this and see if maybe somebody tries to sneak around on the backside. If you can pick them off. Lucarux will swap over to that shotgun. Will spot out Hakatori again, gets him down to half HP.
He's got a blue zone. He thought about it for a second there. I think he might have a good opportunity now to throw a blue zone, clear out one side of the house, but he's got to worry about the peaks first. Then could go for the shotgun play. Just kind of barrel on in there. Oh, no!
Ooh.
Oh, no!
Oh, the battle of Jiggle Peaks. And Hakatori wins it. That's 3 kills for Hakatori, but he is now the last player left alive for Navi. And with that shift, he's going to have to leave the compound, and Freaks knows that Gumin can just stick around here as long as he wants, and we'll most likely see Freaks play from the edge from this point out. Rock, meanwhile, they still have their spot inside the middle, and I think they just picked up a crate as well, so they are living large as GOPAY, they still have a nice 2-2 split on the south side. Nobody anywhere near them. BB team off to the south has no reason to leave their spot just yet. So the south side looking still pretty tame after that fight has been finished off. But T1 now, well, they were in trouble before. They might be in a lot more trouble here shortly.
Yep. I mean, T5 had angles into this. They're just spraying into the smokes. I mean, you're going to need a lot. Oh, my goodness. Kickstart is going to steal it.
And I'm out.
Yeah, Raining. Nothing else he can do except try to salvage some points here. Xiaowu prone down behind the fence. You got Olympus above. Some nades, but out in the open, it's Kiss. Goodbye, Lil Ghost. And that's the anchor player, 417, dealt with 3v3 on the other side. That grenade really close to Olympus's feet. They're exploding all around him. How is he still alive? Scappy now.
Ya
It
ampun.
doesn't matter. It's just Kiss again.
Ngeri banget Kiss anjir.
Absolutely cracked.
Lagi dapat buat ini harinya Kiss ini.
For himself here in PGS 7 and 8. APAC already knew about him. We're getting to learn about him now. As Kiss and the rest of Forest will fight their way in from the north. They've got GOPAY just on the other side of the hill, but it looks like Kiss is already aware that they may have danger close.
Oh, the Freaks.
Salut tuh, akhirnya salut.
Rock getting pushed from a couple different angles. And that's 2 knocks there for
Ya elah.
And they are going to continue.
Roce udah tusun kah? Hashtag 14. Hashtag 14.
Making this a little bit
Ya elah, circle loh.
The Freaks here not getting anything from their hard work, and now they've got Forest lining up along their backside. I think this is the wise decision here from the Freaks. Turn around, because you didn't get what you wanted out of that fight with Rock. GOPAY is there, and they're going to have high ground over you. So you need to figure out what in the world's going on back here. Unfortunately for the Freaks, but very fortunately.
Kasiannya DNF ini. Loh, Falcon ternyata udah mati ya. Twist masih di luar zona.
Before he can get behind the tree, he gets taken down and flushed out. As that'll be a point picked up for the Freaks, and now the hard shift coming, or not a hard shift really, but just a shift away.
Twist nabrak Skeleton 5K. Wah, atas bakalan seru sih. Blue Zone granat lempar juga langsung keluar ini BL.
Should be diligent with this. A stun in the window, maybe a frag.
Very calmo, one might say. Stun comes through.
Lempar granat langsung itu mah. Ngapain lagi?
Salute, don't just walk in there. Oh, there you go. He was waiting to see if he got shot at, and he will not. But there you go. BL will get finished out, and Rock goes.
Godfrey lagi. Buset Ranger.
By Ranger X, but HS will survive. And gets him with the Panzerfaust.
Oh, that's brutal though for 4 AM potentially, because here comes
Rosit datang langsung lempar granat.
Out for 4 AM. If it's in the door, it's done. Oh, he got outside just in time, but still, those are going to be points claimed there for Rossiter Jr. Padampong off in the distance, watching his back so he can take this fight, but he's out of throwables that'll do damage. Gonna have to get it done with a little bit of gunplay here. Trying to get the res off. Smoke has to come out first. Just enough time for 2. And that's going to make
lempar lagi nggak sih? Granatnya masih nggak ada lagi. Wah, Kickstarter udah dekat. Lempar cabut udah langsung.
Twisted Minds was absolutely pinned down by T5 out in the blue before this fight against 4 AM. Now they're pushing over here, has opened up Twisted to come in. They're going to find Padampong. It's also open things up for Falcons to come down from their high horse in Buksansa and start getting involved. Forest just going to drive right through it with little regard for their own lives, and they will make it through with 3 for now.
Well, the blue zone there just going to soften up the 4 AM players. Had enough heals that they could get through that okay, but are there any more first?
Minuman banyak 17.
He's completely out. Has a ton of boost. Okay, yeah, no problem. But they're pinned in there. I mean, between Falcons and Twisted, you can't imagine a world where they're going to get out at least within the next circle or 2 before they have to kind of wait for something else to happen, somebody else to relieve the pressure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe day trade.
Day trade. This could be a problem for Twisted Minds. Day trade, full 4-man squad coming up from the south, and does not look like Twisted has spotted them yet. Lou looking over in that direction. He's going to let them know, but before that, Thanadol will get the knock onto him. As example, spotting out Thanadol from range. Can get a little bit of damage in, but can't get the knock. And now Twisted Minds have to pull all their attention back towards the south.
4AM has been gifted an opportunity to break out if they can realize it. Falcons are also now taking a fight against GOPAY right outside of Buksansa. And now you've got a P90 for Perfectix. There you go, Kickstart. He's going to find that. There's a knock from Park Pro, but watching Perfectix, trying to figure out exactly where he can get to be a little bit safer. Another good grenade. Oh, actually, it was in Songjong's hand. I take it back. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But that's a little unfortunate for him.
And not great. Shrimzy, the last player left alive. He does have Kickstart down here. If they can get rid of 2 Heart, might be able to get him back on his feet and play this out as 2. But Guman has eyes on it as well. Shrimzy Kickstart on his first bleed, so he's going down really, really slow. Has time to pop a smoke. 2 Heart. Trying to find it. Shrimzy will finish off Park Pro. Has to be careful, though. Don't take that knock. 2 Heart not going to give up without a fight here. Oh, he's got him now. That high ground. Oh.
But you got to be careful. I think there's maybe another team thinking about getting involved in this potentially. I see Forrest sort of off in the distance, but I mean, 2 Heart, absolutely nasty. Can't give him any opportunities.
Okay, he doesn't.
There it is.
There it is. He pulled out the grenade too late, I think. He's going to throw it right into the smokes, but it's going to fall a little bit too far, and Kickstart gets the heal off before he can throw it. From behind, Baron will spot out Shrimzy on the high side, and now it's a 1v1. 2 Heart versus Kickstart. 2 Heart wins these. How on earth does he pull it off?
Just that good.
Batulis mengerikan. Lebih 90 lagi anjir.
And Perfectix example gonna get in there and wipe them clean from Tego. Now you move over to Batulins, watching for 2 Heart to see if he's gonna get aggressive off that angle. Gonna scoop up some stuff off of those dead boxes. Thanadol, easy pickings. See, he was knocked a little bit earlier by Quizzy. Now more kills coming through for Twisted Minds, for GOPAY. They are really starting to clear out their zones on opposite sides of the circle.
They are indeed. And GOPAY looking down in the direction of BB Team. Bestalosh on that south side. I don't think he has any idea that he's got the snake, Suze, right behind him. You can see just off in the distance, slowly out healing the blue. GOPAY does lose PWD, but they have so much real estate to work with as we see Suze making his way from the south. Hakatori still alive for Navi in the blue on the north side.
Shit, pas 90 gitu dua megang. Mengerikan. Aduh, Bestaloh mati sih ini mah.
Suze, meanwhile, still slowly making his way. Bestaloh looking for him.
Ya Allah.
Get him down to half HP. He's going to eat a lot of blue, and he
mati
will go down in the end. 2 Bestaloh point taken by BB Team.
Yep, so BB
timingnya jelek. Timingnya jelek.
Where they've got 4 up into the late game. Baron though gonna find Perfectix.
Ya Allah.
And I don't know what exactly happened there. Aduzi trying to put some shots into his back, but needs the vehicle. More importantly, to have a little bit of ability to make some rotations. Raining still prone in the middle of the previous circle, now on the edge of the new one. Heaven still trying to figure out what the heck is going on with Hakatori. He is just clawing his way through this blue. Salute
sampel mati dong ini mah.
Open up with some frags, but it's actually Phil first, and now Salute really wants to get in there and get these kills. Oh, it's actually Baron who takes it.
Oh,
he's
my
gonna
goodness,
get one more?
Baron as Forrest on 7 kills now. These guys somehow, some way, even down to 1, just farming points as the smoke wall gonna slow things down just enough for Freaks to not be able to finish off Batulins. And because of that, because they called Heaven back over here to deal with that, that's allowed Hakatori to get in for Navi, still alive on that northern side, as Batulin's just trying to slow things down and waste their time.
You still have
2 Heart calling in flares.
2 Hearts coming up right behind Hakatori. Might be able to steal a point there. Nope, Hakatori was wise to it.
He was. He got it, and there you go. Baron will go down to the blue.
Baron mati juga dah.
Took the shots, immediately revealed himself, and now Freaks are all staring down in that direction. Human will go ahead and get credit for that one. And now, actually spotting out GOPAY in the process too. So a little bit fortuitous there for Freaks that they stopped to take shots at Hackatory because I don't know if they would have seen GK coming otherwise.
It's a great opportunity for Raining to make a move, but he doesn't feel comfortable to for whatever reason. Still hanging out on the edge. Batulin's down. BB 4 kills this time, 4 up. DNF the only other team with 4 up, but GK with 3. Definitely going to be a threat here. It's just a matter of can DNF avoid stepping on another landmine. Reminiscent of that final game on Erangel in the PGS 7 final stage.
4-4-3-1.
He's just trying to back off. He doesn't want to take this fight. DNF, though, definitely wants a piece of GK. Little opening damage done on a high Ryzen. Oh, what a knock from Gumin.
Good shots there on Aspiro. And meanwhile, BB team hanging out on the south side, they have a perfect opportunity to redeem themselves from game number 2, where they lost the 4v2 and gave the win over to Rock. Now they still have 4 up once again, and they are looking real nice. Look at the utility. They have everything they could need. Now, if they can just get a few more kills to go along with it, they've got Haruzen and Quizzy pinned just uphill from them, but they have to be careful about the angles they peek because they don't know where Freaks is. And Raining salute will spot him though. Raining lands one shot.
Ini kalau dapat lumayan itu tambahan poin.
Dude, Salute might find a huge angle onto the back of BB while they're fighting with GK. They've done some damage. Aduzi has been knocked. Frag being thought about here by Phil first. Up and over. Blues but the frag is good enough. It bounces right on top of the rock. What a throw.
Beautiful stuff from Phil first. But while that was happening, it's taken long enough that the new circle popped and Freaks have used their vehicles to take over everything. They have all angles into this next zone. But BB should be able to get everybody back on their feet. They have vehicles of their own. How do they decide to play this, though? You could see nothing in the bag for Maladoct in terms of utility. They still have 7 grenades, but only 1 smoke.
DL and Salute have to be very, very careful here because it's hard to say exactly how much cover you're going to get from Gumin and Heaven behind you. So you don't want to overpeak. You don't want to lose for free because if you go a little bit too far too soon, you could die, and there could, even if you get a knock, there could be the res that comes through for BB, and they're going to have a 4 versus 3. And certainly, you don't want to give them another opportunity at that because they're definitely licking their chops to come back and get a big win. DL just going to hide behind the tree. They're going to hear this rotation. What is the counter move? A little bit of driving.
Phil first. They left Phil first behind, and he's going to spot out Salute. So Salute, the first one to go down. Heaven takes a few shots. Salute will get flushed out. Gumin with the spray, not going to find it. Phil first will get traded out by Deal, though. It is a 3v3. Vestalok will go down as well as they tried to get him from behind. And now all of a sudden it's down to Maladoct and Aduzi. They spot out Deal. They've got him pinned against a tree, but shots coming from Heaven will put things on pause. And a great grenade from Deal. Aduzi goes down, and Maladoct, the last player left alive for BB team.
Here we go. Gumin found the final player, and he's got him. The circle.
Recon DNF, let's go.
The chicken dinner goes to DNF, and they played that so well out on the edge. Very good proactivity from them. The way they were bouncing back and forth between fights, never overcommitted to anything. Left them with 4 up and a huge advantage in this final couple circles.
Gigi.
Team has to be asking, what do we gotta do, man? We get to the final 2, and we've got 4 players alive, and that's another opportunity wasted there to get another win. But again, great performance from them as they find themselves